Can America learn to love kids again? That's a really interesting question posed by Rachel Cohen Booth in a recent article for Vox Media. Hi, I'm Bradley Sherman. I'm an author and a strategist focusing on people and population. I'm working on my new book, The Geography of Prosperity, which will be published by MIT Press in 2027. But as I travel around the country, as I listen to people's concerns about where we are and where we might be going, one of the recurring themes is family creation. And no, I'm not talking about the ideas around pronatalism, which can sometimes sound sometimes dystopian in their approach. I'm talking more about the structures, the systems that are in place that can help people not only live healthy and fulfilling lives, but also ones that really center around creating family. And that can just be the family you choose, whether it's being single, staying alone, or moving into coupling, and of course, having children. This article by Booth really sets the tone for a big chapter of my book, which is about whether cities are prepared for building families in the future. And there's one takeaway from here that I think is really compelling. It's that cities simply didn't build for families because families weren't in their overall best interest, at least in the short term interest. And that short term interest, that short term thinking, is a real problem that we've yet to overcome. So, for decades, instead of building family housing in cities, we built for single millennials who flooded into the cities in the early 2000s and the early 2010s. And now those millennials are ready to have kids, albeit on a delayed timeline. And there's nowhere for them to go in cities. So they're having to look elsewhere, having to move out into the suburbs. This creates a real problem for cities long term because, as we know, our birth rates have been falling for years, decades, in fact. And now Gen Z is coming into adulthood. And there simply aren't the same number of them to fill the housing in these cities that was built for millennials. So, what do we do? Well, we need to have really aggressive shifts in housing policy. And while the article suggests this is a problem in cities across the nation, there are cities that are actively taking this on, reconsidering what the new family structure looks like. Not only that classic nuclear family, but also the extended one, which has become a norm for 1 out of 5 households in this country, and it's only growing in the coming years. So, if you'd like to stay in touch, if you'd like to follow what I'm doing, suggest cities where I should be going, please follow me here. Subscribe if that's an option. And of course, reach out on Substack. I publish there regularly with more in depth analysis at populationnext.com. That's populationnext.com.